welcome to my return viewers and subscribers. Thank you very much in your support in helping me raise awareness about narcissistic abuse and CPTSD. It's greatly appreciated. To those of you who are out of curiosity's sake to see how Hammer saved my life, right there with you. And to those of you who are here simply for the giveaway, no judgment, and I'm going to actually put a timestamp in the description below, so if you don't feel like hearing all of my gibberish, jump ahead and enter, and maybe you'll win, who knows. So I'd like to introduce myself first off. I am Christy. I am a survivor of almost 2 decades of narcissistic abuse. I am a now almost 5-year recovering alcoholic. I am a former labor and delivery nurse. I am the daughter of 2 kick-ass parents. I am the mother of 3 wonderful children, the girlfriend to a saint, the sister to probably one of the coolest people I've ever met in my life, friend and family to many more. So in order to kind of paint the best picture, I'm going to give you a little bit of my back history, although I'm not really here to talk about wrong, but more so about my rise back up. And my hope is that, anybody else out there who is struggling may get a little inspiration out of this. And yeah, so like I said, I was in a very toxic relationship for about 19 years. I was verbally and mentally abused on a pretty much daily basis. There were some instances of physical abuse, pretty much you name it, I got it. The drinking started, becoming an issue, I guess, a little bit after my first daughter was born. There were, times when it was, better than others, I'd say, but it definitely took hold of me as the relationship took a vast turn for the worst after she was born, to the point where, every night I'd go to bed and I would swear that I was never going to do this again. And then every morning I'd wake up and just the thought of having to intervene or be around or conversate with my now ex-husband, it became a necessity. So at 9 a.m. I was, preparing for my interactions with him. About 5 years ago, I finally listened to my late night self, and I made a phone call and admitted myself into Serenity Acres for 30 days for rehab for alcohol. And alcohol addict, anything or not, I think everybody should go to rehab. It made me open my eyes to see inside of me. It made me focus on my qualities, and it made me, I guess, aware of my flaws, and it helped me let go of that I had no control over, and it allowed me to really focus on correcting me and becoming the best me that I could be, because I wasn't me for forever. I honestly didn't even know who I was anymore, and I think partially because I was numbing who I was with the alcohol, and partially due to the mental abuse. It's hard to describe really mental abuse to somebody and what it does to an individual, but the daily dose of insults and demoralization, and constantly moving the bar, and you're never able to reach successfulness or validation or anything in their eyes, and it really messes with your head. It distorts your reality. It makes you question your truthfulness and falsehood, and it's pretty unbearable. Upon my departure from Serenity Acres, it was told to me by my counselors that they thought if I were to return home to my now ex-husband, that I would either wind up dead or I would be right back into rehab. I was convinced that, now that I wasn't drinking, that everything was going to be fine, and that, I was stronger and I was wiser and I was, determined that I was going to fix everything, and I was going to fix him and I was going to fix me, and, I guess briefly upon my return home, things were fine, and, the shoe quickly dropped as it always did, this time with a much, stronger thud, because I was, adamant that I was not going to fail and that I was going to, become the best person that I could be, because I was broken, and I was very firm with the boundaries that they, I guess provided me with, that I should be firm with, and that I was lacking before, and that didn't exactly bode well, so to speak. Continue to stay true to myself. I also had this fear that was growing inside me on a pretty large scale of survival on my own, because it was told to me by by my abuser that I was never going to be able to survive on my own, that I wasn't capable, and that I needed him, and I guess I never really took much thought into it, because I never thought that I would be without him. For Christ's sakes, I mean, if I went to the bathroom, I had to check in, and I guess I thought that in reality, I thought, then that it was, there was no escape, that I was going to be checking in for the rest of my life. And, with this fear overhead, I decided that I needed to learn a thing or two, to see if I was capable of, surviving on my own. It started with, fixing a few things around the house. I taught myself how to do electrical work. I started doing little bits of plumbing, mainly just, like faucet replacements and a couple of pipes, switched out shower heads, that kind of stuff. Learned where all the water shut-off valves were. I did put in a new toilet. And then that kind of led me to renovating things that were needing renovations, I guess, in the home. I did the flooring in all of the downstairs of my house. I started really getting into the power tools, and had purchased a router and made all the ground molding for the trim house. Got into, I guess just refurbishing furniture at first. Was painting, you were standing still for too long, I was going to paint you. So I did a lot of the painting of some of the furniture in the house. Then I started making frames. Then that led to mirrors, which led to, art pieces and signs. And then next thing I know, I'm building farm tables and, benches, and you name it, I was on it. Did some upholstery, got into sewing. I mean, the decorating just really became like a niche for me. And somewhere within, all this learning, I realized that I had this passion for woodwork and for interior design. And my parents have a fabulous little boutique in Bel Air, which I started to, do pieces for and selling them. In fact, I have now been out of nursing for 3 years and solely do furniture and art pieces for my parents. There's a few interior designers that I work for. I do some flower boxes and stuff for floors that I know. I do tons and tons of custom pieces for customers. and try to keep their little in stock. Most of the stuff I do is all like unique, custom, one of a kind. Totally into anything old, rusty, and barnwood is like my go-to. It's not my sole use of wood, but it's definitely my preference. And I guess it was working with all of the older things that I choose to work with is when it dawned on me that like this was my recovery. It wasn't just my passion, it was in all essences how I was recovering. Upon my arrival home, I had gone to a few AA classes, which I think are fabulous. Not going to knock them. They traditional ways of doing them are right on. But it was encouraged that I didn't go to AA because there was the jealousy factor and the fear that I was going to meet somebody in rehab. So I guess that's kind of where the hammer comes into tow. And the hammer was my, I guess, my stress reliever. It was when I was angry, or I was sad, or I was mad, or I was frustrated, or I needed to just get some steam off. I went outside and I banged and I banged and I banged and I build and I build and I build. And like I said, it was within all this banging and building that I realized that I wasn't just building these pieces of furniture, that I was building a new Christie. And these pieces that I were using, they were old, they were broken, they were dilapidated, and I was creating them into something beautiful. And in store was actually I was broken and I was dilapidated and I was run down, and the building of these things was building a new me. The sense of accomplishment that you get out of doing something with your own two hands is there's nothing else like it. I mean, it's rejuvenating. It's great. And with each piece that I built, I was building my confidence. I was building I was building down, or my fear of being able to survive on my own. And by the time I was done renovating the house and had taken on lots of furniture and learning how to do all the stuff that I do, I was not only certain that I could survive on my own, but I was actually like excited to have the chance to do it, away from my husband for going on 3 years now. And the difference in my world is just, it's tremendous. I have no shame in my needing a recovery, so to speak. And I'm not proud, obviously, in my choices of ways to self-medicate. The drinking that led me to the rehab, and the rehab that led me to realizing I deserved better, and like what a narcissist really was. Because up until that point, obviously I've heard the term narcissist before, but like it was just your typical like egotistical, high on their horse asshole, and that's totally different than what like a covert narcissist is. Somebody with narcissistic personality disorder. Not that I'm here to diagnose anybody, but if you've ever lived with them, it's on the diagnosis you're ever going to really need, as far as I'm concerned. It was, like I said, it was the drinking that led me to the rehab, and the rehab that led me to my recovery, and the recovery that, is where I found my passion. And it's opened my eyes. It's given me such a sense of accomplishment and achievement, and confident I can survive on my own. And so can any of you out there. I mean, we all sometimes need a little like reminding of who we are, and like remembering that we are all wildly and fiercely capable of doing anything that we set our minds and our hearts out to do. And that's what I did. I mean, I was, like I said, I was determined. I was determined that I could do it. I was going to prove it to myself one way or the other, that I could do it. And I guess, I did. And, so here I am. I'm a furniture maker now. Those of you who are, struggling and need to boost your confidence. Like, pick up a power tool. Just, create something. Create anything with your own 2 hands. Just do it. Like, just to know that you are capable of doing it. And it doesn't even have to be woodworking. Just find your niche. Find your niche in doing whatever it is that you want to do. And, traditional ways of recovering from anything, whether it be, addiction or abuse, are fabulous. But, don't forget that there are other ways out there, and there's other things that one can do, that'll work, just as well or even better, for you. I still struggle daily from CPTSD. I do a lot of reminding myself of who I am, my worstest of days, and it's within the remembering and it's the falling that has allowed me to rise back up. And I just hope that I can give a little bit of inspiration to somebody out there who, isn't quite sure of themselves. You can do it. We all can do it. We are all strong enough. We just need a little reminder. I'm going to do a little gallery at the end of all of my things. Anybody who either subscribes, or if you don't want to subscribe, no hard feelings. Just put a comment in of your name. 2 weeks. I'll have my daughter. We'll collect all the names, put them in a hat or in a bowl or whatever, and have her pick out 2 names. And of the 2 people that win, I will have a few things that you will be able to select, and I will send you what you want, and it'll be free of charge, free of shipping, just to show you my appreciation for watching and for your support, like I said, in my quest to raise awareness for narcissistic abuse. So stay tuned for the gallery. Lots of cool pictures, proud of all my stuff. I do a good job. I love doing what I do. And I hope that, one of you out there picks up a power tool, and somewhere down the road, my plan is to, or my dream, I suppose, open up a place to be able to teach women who are, or men, anybody who wants to learn, who are in, I guess, abusive relationships and, want to learn to feel the confidence that they can survive on their own, or just anybody who really wants to, get into some woodworking. It's pretty badass. And, that's the goal, that's the plan. But until then, I'm going to keep doing what I do. And I wish all of the survivors out there best of luck. Remember who you are. Stay true to yourself. You deserve better. We all deserve better. And a song that is going to be played with the pictures is one of my go-to pick-me-up songs by Jonathan Roy. It's keeping me alive, and definitely recommend downloading this one for your all selves, because it's nail on the head, man. So anyway, stay tuned for some cool pics, and thank you again, and I will let you all know who the winner is very soon. All right, see ya.
You tried to hold me down, so I became a soldier. Built up all these walls, and now I'm climbing over. Those nasty bees are tempting me, oh Lord, but I ain't going back. You take me for a fool, it doesn't make me foolish. Told me I was wrong, passion made you ruthless, manipulate. It's just too late. Oh Lord, but I ain't going back no more. Fueling up the flames, gonna show you what I'm made of. Breaking every chain that you put on me. You thought I wouldn't change, but I grew on you. Cause I will never be what you wanted. This fire's keeping me alive, making me believe I couldn't do without you. Make it hard to leave, you think it's all about you. You know I'll never be what you wanted. This fire's tried to get this weight off on my shoulders, built up on my strength. I'm finally taking over. Complicate, I don't appreciate. Oh Lord, but I ain't going back no more. Fueling up the flames, gonna show you what I made of. Breaking every chain that you put on me. You thought I wouldn't change, but I grew on you. 'Cause I will never be what you wanted. This fire's keeping me alive, making me believe I couldn't do without you. Make it hard to leave, you think it's all about you. You know I'll never be what you wanted. This fire's keeping me alive, keeping me alive, keeping me alive. This fire, breaking me, shaking me, shaping me into what I never wanted. And breaking me, shaking me, making my beating heart a little stronger. Breaking every chain that you put on me. You thought I wouldn't change, but I grew on you. I will never be what you wanted. This fire is keeping me alive. Breaking every chain